Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 2 trades today, and I've got everything on video. If you like these videos, hit the like button. If you have any questions about these trades, leave a comment below. Finally, if you'd like to download the trading tools that I use in this video, the easiest way to do so is to go to my YouTube homepage and then click on the Facebook icon, which will bring you to the trading group. You can become a member for free and download all of the files for free. All right, let's take a look at the trades. So as always, I start with EVOL with the top gainers pre-market selected. Click on all. Then I organize it by volume, and I'm only interested in the top 3 stocks, but only if they are lower float size, meaning less than 100 million shares, or if it's the number 1 stock, I'll take a look at it. But something like SNDL with 1.55 billion, that's a little bit too large, and you see these things barely move even when they have the number 1 volume. So for the number 1 stock, probably somewhere around 500 million shares. So EVOL, I believe, yeah, that was the one that one of the ones that I traded. So here it is on the watch list, and this is the 4 a.m. candle. I already checked that it's trading above the previous session's high and the previous day's high. And then EBON was also on the list this morning, and it was in the top 3. But I didn't realize till later it doesn't actually meet my float requirement, but I didn't take a trade on that. So EVOL, it's made the ABCD pattern that I look for. Here's point A, there's B, and then C. It's making the pullback. So now I'm just waiting for an entry, which is always the break of a 1-minute candle, the high of a 1-minute candle. So I think it happens, and I get my line that marks my stop loss out early just so that it doesn't slow me down once I'm in the trade. If I have to get out, I can get out. So here I am hovering over this candle. The high is 467, so my ideal entry is 468, and it does happen on this candle. So here's 469, and you saw that I triggered my hotkeys, and I got a little slippage on the way in and got filled at 471, but that's not a big deal when the stocks have a lot of buying power and energy behind them. A few cent slippage isn't going to hurt you. So now I'm using my 2-hour calculator, which again is downloadable from the Facebook page. I put in my actual entry, not my desired entry, and I put in my real stop loss, and that gives me my profit target, which I believe was 535. So it's looking, like my feeling was this is going to be an easy trade. It's going to go right to it. Get some chopping around. That's pretty typical. So once in a while you get lucky, and on 1 or 2 candles it goes right to your target. The fact that my profit target was below the previous high is even a better sign that the trade will work out. I guess HOFV popped up on the screener. I always have that same screener open on my laptop. That way while this stuff is going on, I can monitor and see which stocks pop up in the top 3, and as long as they're lower float, they go on the list, and as soon as I see an entry that meets my criteria, I take it. This one doesn't have an entry yet because it's trading below the previous high. All right, so back to the EVOL trade. So you see, once it dips down below my position like that, I cancel that order. That way if I have to stop out, I can just hit my hotkeys and get out. But I'm getting the order ready to put back in because it looks like it's going to go back up, and I don't want to miss the opportunity to get out if it pops up real fast. That does happen. So this thing basically goes sideways for a very long time, and then EBON started to look like it might break out over that high, but then I checked the float size and realized, wait a minute, that's not even part of my criteria to trade, so I took it off the list. Then BBI popped up on that screener. It was number 3 at the time, and luckily I didn't miss any entries because here's the ABCD pattern. A, B, and then here's C. I mean, I guess you could say it started somewhere down here, but this is totally untradeable. Whenever you see these dashed candles, that means there's no volume, and it doesn't matter what goes on at 4 a.m. I can't take any trades there. So this is basically point A and B, and then C is getting established, and now I'm just waiting for a 1-minute candle to make a new high to give me an entry. Now, this is tricky because I'm watching this stock as well, and notice how this box here is surrounded in blue, kind of like highlighted. That means that whatever I do with my hotkeys or even with the order widget, it's going to happen to this stock. and not this one or any of the ones on the watch list. So if this thing comes down and stops me out real quick, I have to get back up here and click it. So it is a little bit challenging to be watching two stocks like this at once, especially when one is threatening to stop you out. So those are all things to make sure you understand before you attempt to do something like this. But my rules and strategy say that if a stock is in the top 3 and meets my criteria and I'm getting the setup, that I have to take the trade as long as I haven't taken more than 3 trades and as long as no trade has gone to 2R. So that's it. So none of that stuff has been met yet. So I have to take an entry here if it presents itself. And look at how close this is getting to my stop. So you can believe that my eyes were jumping around a lot. But I knew that the next entry here was for the break of this candle, so I needed to see 141 or better to get in. So I had my hand on the hotkeys, and you can see I had this stock selected. And I think I get in on this candle here. Now I was kind of bummed, I think it's about to happen, but I was kind of bummed that these candles were so small, because that makes this a very extremely low risk trade, like too low of a risk to make it that great of a reward. But as long as it's like more than a cent or two, I have to take it, because it's still an easy 2R trade, and my rules say that I have to take these setups. So here comes the 141, and I think watching, I'm going to make an excuse right now. I was watching both of these at the same time, had my fingers on the hotkeys to get in, and once again I jumped the gun. You can see I entered right before it went to 141, and that screwed me up a little bit too, because that basically leaves some money on the table, like 2 cents per share, which with a cheap stock like this, that adds up. So now I'm in that trade and still watching this one. Again, use the 2R calculator. Got my profit target out for that one. And this one only took 3 minutes, and it went right to my target, and it also would have went to the target. Let me see, what was my target there? 146, so it would have been 148, I believe, if I would have gotten in exactly where I wanted to. And so that it would have worked out either way. And now all that's left is EVOL. So at this point, I have one 2R trade. So that means that no matter what, even though I haven't taken 3 trades, I can't take any more trades, because my rule is that once I get a 2R trade, that I have to stop trading. But if I'm already in a trade, I have to follow my rules, which say that there's only one possible or 2 possible outcomes of any trade. Either I get stopped out at -1R, or it hits my profit target at 2R. So that's what's left now, is just to watch EVOL and see what happens. And again, it's coming down very close to my stop, but that doesn't mean I do anything at all. I have to wait until it goes below that red line, because that's 1 cent higher than my actual stop loss. My actual stop loss is 439. So I just have to wait. Sometimes it comes down and it touches that line and bounces up and hits my profit target. But I think you can tell by the length of this video what's going to happen next. So there's 440. Again, I can't stop out yet. I have to wait to see 439 or lower. Even if it goes from 440 to 435, nothing I can do about that. So there, it went to 439, and I think I triggered my hotkeys pretty quick. Yeah, there, and I got filled at 438, so 1 cent slippage, not bad. So overall down 163, but because I took that second trade, I made back some money. Would have been down 431 on the day, so not too bad. It was definitely worth taking that second trade, which there was no question whether or not to take it. It was all part of my plan and my strategy. So actually, I'll show you in Webull first, and then we'll look at the spreadsheet. So you can see those are the only trades that I took today. And account performance. Yeah, so that's from yesterday. Here's today. So EVOL lost 431. BBI made 268. So the BBI trade didn't cancel out the EVOL loss, even though I'm trading 2R all or nothing, because it was such a low risk. And you can calculate, based on the actual risk, but so far it doesn't seem like it's worth doing that. And I think I might screw things up or mess things up because things happen so fast. I got to get in and out. So I'm just going to keep doing things the way I am until I see reason to change, basically. So interestingly enough, 3 red days so far this week. So what do you think? You think I'm red or green on the week? Place your bets now. So I'm still, even though a very small amount of green, I'm still green on the week. And that's simply because I trade my strategy and plan exactly. I do everything it says to do and nothing more, nothing less, because I know that it has a lot of things in place to protect me and to recover from red trades. And not to say that I'll never be red on a week. I could end this week red pretty easily because of tomorrow I have, like, say, three red trades in a row, or even 2 red trades and 1 green trade. There's a strong likelihood I could end up red on the week. But again, it doesn't matter because I'm trading my plan and my strategy until it proves that it doesn't work. And this week has been a little bit tougher trading, but overall this month has been really good. So it's kind of balancing out now, and hopefully things get a little bit easier throughout the rest of the month, even if it becomes some sort of average of what's happened over the month. We should end up doing really well this month. So still up over somewhere around 9% now, I want to say. Maybe Webull will have it a little bit more accurate, because I'll tell you why in a second that number is really not going to be accurate. Yeah, I'm up over 9.5%, even with all these red days. Still, it's only, so this isn't even a red trade. This was a free stock that I got. That when you sell it, it counts it as a loss, I guess, if you sell it lower than it was actually higher than the price that I got it at. But I guess if it moves down from the previous day or something like that, Webull counts it as a loss. But these are actual losses from trading. And then BHAT was the worst, and that was a day that I lost 3 trades in a row, and it was also a day that there was nothing going on in the market until about 5 a.m., just before 5 a.m., which was my cutoff, my old cutoff for looking for a trade. And that's when BHAT popped up on the screener, and I took 3 trades on it, and they all failed. And after that day, I said, if there's nothing by 4:30, I'm not going to hang around, even if I miss something. I don't want to hang around just for the possibility that can happen, because you feel like an idiot even sitting there for an hour just to lose 3 trades, so I'm just going to 4:30 from now on, and that's it. I think and then the reason why I think we're going to go by the Webull number, I'm sure I could probably fix this, but I'll just type it in exactly what Webull says, because calculating it now is going to be a little bit tricky, because I got a couple of free stocks this month, and it's added. You can see the jump in my account size from here, 627 to 646.02. That's because I sold 2 free stocks yesterday. So thank you for who's ever clicking on the link. That's I think the second time now since I've had those links up, and it's really nice when that happens. It doesn't happen very often, and that's okay, but when it does, it's a nice little treat, and keeps me motivated to keep making these videos and keep helping you guys out. So let me know if you have any questions about this trade. And I always like to leave you with, always take your stop losses no matter what, and honor your profit targets, and you should be green in the long run. Take care.